Hey all, Geek Master here with one last video of 2022, and I'd just like to apologise for any fireworks you may hear because they've just literally been going and stopped, so they could start at any time. I just want to have a quick look back at 2022 and a quick look forward to 2023. So for me as the Geek Master, 2022 was a great year. There we go. First of all, I met several great YouTubers, especially at the London gaming market in July when I met Gernaldinho Plays for the second time, Big Game Owl, Sega Zombie, Champion 2D Rob, many other people, and it was a great time meeting you all, and I hope to meet many more of you in 2023. Next, I got accepted as the newest member of the TMB podcast, and I would like to give a big thank you to the whole team for that, and especially to Russell the Retro Bear for putting the whole thing together. I've enjoyed doing every podcast with you, and here's to many more with any luck. In terms of pickups, I haven't shared as many, but trust me, they've been there. I just didn't do videos for some reason, but that will be changing next year. I picked up 3 consoles that have been of great interest to me. One was recent, which you may have seen the video for, which was the Japanese Wii. I also picked up a Mega CD2 in the summer, and earlier in the year, a American Nintendo 64. This gives me the whole Japanese, American, European Nintendo 64 system, so I can now basically play any game, which is awesome, and it's my favourite console. I'm going for the full PAL set, so that's an amazing thing for me. Mega CD, I bought Sonic CD a couple of months beforehand, and it's so good to be able to finally play it on the original software. I need to get more games for it, admittedly, but now I have the system and I can actually play them. It gives me more reason to look into getting them and hopefully getting them. And the Japanese Wii, I only have 2 games, and they're ones I have in English as well, which are Pokemon Battle Revolution and Link's Crossbow Training. There are exclusives I want. Hopefully I can get some in 2023. In terms of games, well, in terms of pickups, I grabbed a Sonic CD for the Mega CD, which as an old school Sonic fan, I'm ecstatic about. Grabbed my first 32X game in the Star Wars arcade, and also grabbed Star Wars Rebel Assault for the Mega CD at the time I actually grabbed the console. I've also managed to get up to 160 Nintendo 64 European PAL cartridges, so I'm over 2/3 of the way there, giving this 239 in the European set, 243 if you go for the full PAL set with Australia. So I'm basically 2/3 of the way there, reached my target, just need to decide what my target will be for next year. Probably about 170, 175. But we're getting there. Away from games, I started watching and grabbing some anime again. I now have the full High School DxD set, for example. I've also started recently buying the old Pokemon sets, although with only the first series out in Europe, well, England anyway, I've had to look abroad and thankfully managed to get a lot of them from Australia, which also included me buying a multi-region DVD player. I'll probably do a video on them DVDs because they're cool and old school. There's other anime I grabbed. One from my past is called Daphne and the Brilliant Blue. Used to own them, got the preview book, so I'm glad to watch that again. Let me know if you'd like to see more anime videos. Also, manga, that's another big thing for me. Managed to sort out one of my bookcases now to be pure manga. That's getting there. Started several new series this year, such as Rent a Girlfriend, Quintessential Quintuplets. Bit more adult ones, it's Saki the Succubus, Witches of Adamas. Some of them, I've got to admit, yeah. So really happy to be building up my collection. And just general DVDs. I started buying Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Star Wars DVDs. I had the films. I started buying stuff such as Rebels, Clone Wars, etc. So really happy to do that as well. And I hope to add to them and to finish some series next year. Other events that have happened. Well, as far as I'm aware from the geek bit, I can think of 2 things that stand out. Again, apologies for the fireworks. The first is the announcement a couple of weeks ago that the series of Pokemon with Ash Ketchum, who I met the original English voice actor of, Veronica Taylor, is coming to an end. We have 11 episodes starting on the 13th of January. Now he's world champion, where they will wrap the series up, to be honest, with a brand new series focused on the new game Scarlet and Violet coming in April. Will they connect at all? Are they completely separate? Who knows? But after 25 years, it is hard to imagine a series without Ash. I remember watching it when it first aired over here. And I've not only met the voice actor, I've got a couple of hats. I even cosplayed original Ash a few times. So that's quite a big thing, as far as I'm concerned personally. The other one is the creator of Yu-Gi-Oh!, Kazuki Takahashi, who unfortunately passed away earlier this year, drowning, saving someone who was themselves drowning. So, unfortunately, quite a bit of a tragedy there. But they have also announced, on the positive side of Yu-Gi-Oh!, which I'm really looking forward to, with it being the 25th anniversary next year, that they will be releasing the very first sets. Well, the first 4 sets and a couple of other very old ones. So, as that's when I started, I'm really looking forward to it. So big changes in terms of Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh!, 2 of my biggest geek series as a whole, not just with video games. Because I've got anime, I've got manga, I've got card games, I've got so many things. It's been quite a twist this year, finding out stuff's happened. And of course losing the creator of Yu-Gi-Oh! But with new possibilities next year, so have to see how it goes. And also, the other thing we can have to talk about quickly this year, favourite games. So I went over this on the TMB podcast, said my favourite game is Pokemon Scarlet, and I stand by that. I've had so much fun playing it, even though it's only been out, getting on for 6 weeks now. But I've absolutely loved it. But I would also throw in there Sonic Frontiers, which only came out again a week before Scarlet, but I've absolutely loved it. It's a good fresh twist on Sonic. It's a fun game. And the other one would also be Lego Star Wars, which came back out in April. They're my favourite new games that have come out this year. I've played lots of all of them. Plenty more to play on all of them. Yeah. As for next year, right, so first of all, we have the new Pokemon anime. We have the Back to the Past, the Blast to the Past with Yu-Gi-Oh! But also games coming out. I can't really think of much. I'm intrigued to see what happens with the FIFA things. Now it's obviously it won't be FIFA, it'll be EA Sports Soccer Club or whatever they're calling it. See how different that is, or if the FIFA license 1 comes out, or if that's ever happening. Also, of course, the big one for me, Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, the sequel to Breath of the Wild. Can't wait to try that. Already got the day off work for it. Potential Pokemon Scarlet DLC, I suspect, and I believe it's Sonic Frontiers DLC. But in terms of other new games coming out, I can't really think of much at the minute, but that could well change. But in terms of old games, we have plenty of fun games to look forward to on Nintendo Switch Online, which is a big thing for me, especially for the Nintendo 64. Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2. And, of course, unless it randomly has dropped without me knowing, or it drops in about the next, 5 hours, GoldenEye. That's a big one for me. Love that's coming out. Can't wait for it. But otherwise, who knows what's going to happen next year. As I said, I would love to hopefully meet more of you next year. Got events to look forward to, the game market, Comic-Con, a couple of other possible events. So I reckon it'll be a big year, hopefully lots of good pickups and plenty more positive things to come. But for now, I've been the Geek Master. I hope you've had a good 2022 and I hope you have an even better 2023. Happy New Year all.